Pastor Michael, we're in a season discussing questions on heaven and hell. And today's question is, what will it be like to live in a resurrection body?
Oh, man. I've got a question for you, Ryan.
All right.
If you were to look forward to any part of a resurrection body, right? What parts of your body are not working like they did when you were a teenager?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Appropriate answers only.
Yeah. My lower back.
Yeah.
I've had a herniated disc for 15 years.
How'd you do it?
I don't even know. Yeah. That's the thing.
Isn't that so funny? Like,
just overuse, a lot of sports, a lot of competing. I don't even know. And most of the time it's fine. It doesn't flare up, but every once in a while I'll like throw my back out and that's the culprit. Yep. That's probably the main one for me.
Yep. How
about you?
I got 100. Okay. So, so like, I would love to have my hair back. I think it's a lot easier being bald this side of heaven, but I'd be curious.
Yeah.
Since I was like 7, if I looked at a cheeseburger, I'd gain 30 pounds. And so I want to know what it's like to eat as much food as I possibly want to, which is limitless, and then never gain weight. I'm pretty sure obesity is a thing of earth and not heaven. So, but then again, my gluttony is probably also a thing of earth and not heaven. So anyways, those are a couple. But I am very excited for a new body. I think we all are. And so Paul teaches that there are 4 categories of a resurrection body. And so one of the challenges of talking about these categories is that, like, I want to know the details. Like, show me a picture, give me a description. Am I going to be able to like travel through space and time? Can I fly? All the stuff. And so what he gives us are these principles. And you got to remember, like, Paul had a vision into this realm, into this space, into this future, if you will. And his answer was no eye can see, no ear can hear, or the heart of man can't even comprehend what God has prepared for those who love him. And so he's like, how do I take the uncommunicatable realities of a future that we can't even wrap our minds around? So he gives us these like foundational principles. And so they come from 1 Corinthians 15. And so the first one comes in verse 42. And the idea is that right now we are perishable, sort of like a fruit that is going to die. And we're going to move to imperishable, meaning unable to die. He says, so it is with the resurrection of the dead. What is sown perishable, that's these bodies here, it is raised imperishable. Revelation, John calls these things the former things. So these are the kinds of things that, like, the former way of life, the way it is now, things that die, things that are a part of death and decay and sin and all that kind of stuff. So here's like a short list, okay? Here's some things. Door locks. Isn't that a funny thought? Like door locks, you know?
We don't really ever think, why do we have them? But then when you get right down to it, like, because we need them, because we don't trust people.
Police, FBI, all the stuff, airbags, orphanages, prisons, like these are all kind of the formal things because the world is dying physically and spiritually. These are all things that are needed as a result of the perishability of life because of sin. Fossil fuels, weapons and defense, insurance. This is a real thing. Reinsurance, if you know, you know. The whole medical industry, pharmaceutical industry, counseling, all of this stuff is gone. So these are just like examples of perishable things. They're going to die with this world. They're part of a dying world. And like we're never going to have to deal with this crap ever again.
And they only exist on this side of eternity because of the nature of sin and death and the consequences of sin, which is something you don't really obviously think about a lot. It's just like, it's a part of our life. Well, it's actually not supposed to be. So we have like this list of perishable or formal can you give us some more examples?
And I think this is fun. So like, I think there's a bunch of categories. Let's kind of fly through these, but like you have emotional brokenness, depression and suicide and anxiety, and then all of the just hormonal issues that we have to deal with when they're out of balance. You have psychological brokenness, schizophrenia, narcissism, Tourette's, OCD, BPD, you name all the Ds, you know, it's like all the disorders. They're just gone forever. Then you have a whole separate category of spiritual brokenness, unbelief, doubt, skepticism, rebellious hearts, like all of those things, like just don't have to deal with them. You have social brokenness, from abortion to gun violence to abuse to poverty to war to racism, sexual immorality, prisons, torture, the media, all of it like gone. Like we won't need a news agency to give us more propaganda. Then we have like relational brokenness, grudges, vengeance, gossip, slander, broken reputations and relationships, gone. Physical brokenness, Cancer gone, blindness gone, color blindness. Like that's a funny one. Like people are going to get to heaven, not know they were colorblind and be like, wait a minute. What's a blue looks like? You kidding me? ALS, car accidents, poisoning, malaria, obesity, anorexia, drug addiction, lactose intolerance. I put that one in there for myself. Kidney stones, appendicitis, GI issues, heart attacks. I mean, like gone, so like perishable. Like these are all the things of a dying world and dying bodies, and we don't have to deal with them ever again. So I don't know what that looks like. I just know that it's going to be imperishable.
And there's people probably listening that they're acutely more aware of their need for a new body than others, right? And like there's just something about getting older. It's a privilege, but on the other hand, it's extremely painful and it's hard for people. And people that live with chronic pain, like you can't experience that until you've experienced it. Like you can't say, "Oh, I understand what you're going through," unless you've been somebody or love somebody that's gone with like chronic pain and issues.
My son pulled a muscle in his leg, couldn't walk for 2 days, and then was 100% fine. I pull a muscle in my leg, I'm 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. So our bodies, Paul says also in 1 Corinthians 15, that they're going to go from dishonor to glory. He says in verse 43, it is sown in dishonor. And so that's these bodies. Like it's a strong word, but essentially it's kind of the shame that we exist in because of sin. It's not the way it was supposed to be. It's a lesser death, decaying version of things. But what's interesting is he says it's sown in dishonor, and then it's going to be raised in glory. Now, this is something I find interesting because glory, it's a Hebrew word. It means kabod. It means weight. And the idea of glory is that when you are standing in the light of God, because glory also means light, when you're standing in God's light, it's so heavy that it feels like a crushing weight. Okay. So glory in the Bible refers to the experience of being in the presence of God's crushing light. This is a striking thought because I do really, really love the principle that we will shine like stars. So I want to just share a couple of scriptures. There is a theme in scripture that it seems that in our resurrection body, there's a connection to light and glory. So God is the ultimate glory. Angels have a glory, but we have a glory as well. And so like Daniel 12:3 says, the righteous will shine like stars. Matthew 13:43, the righteous will shine like the sun. And people are like, it's a metaphor. But actually, like it comes up so much, and then the glory of God, and then us emanating His glory, and then remember the transfiguration, like Jesus like lights up in glory, if you will. He's shining. Matthew chapter 17, verse 1 says this. Verse 2, his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. Like that's pretty crazy. And then it says we're going to have a glory like his. We're going to have bodies like his resurrection body. Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't know what this light thing looks like, but it seems that we're going to be shining with the glory of God in a very bright way. Some people surmise, and I think we said this on an episode with angels and demons, but that Adam and Eve, when they were in the garden, they had a glory, a light to them. Yes. Yeah. That when they sinned, in that moment, they knew they were naked, because the light of their glory went away. And they became, if you will, fully visible and seen for the nakedness that they were. This idea of naked is to be stripped kind of your glory, to be seen for what you are. So, and it was a very interesting concept. The third thing that Paul says is that our bodies are going to move from weakness to power. Verse 43, it's sown in weakness, but at the resurrection, it's raised in power. And weakness actually has this idea that we're prone to temptation. And so that whatever this new body is, we're going to not be prone to temptation. In fact, if we were tempted, we wouldn't even want it. Like we'd be almost impervious to it, which is kind of a cool thought. The fourth one is that we go from natural to spiritual. Now it's kind of hard, because we're like, wait a minute, we have a spirit. But it's this idea that the body and the spirit are all together in one. There's this full experience of the human body. The natural body is limited to the earthly sphere, but when you bring the spirit body and the spirit world and the natural body, you bring them all together. You live kind of in the fullness of all of reality. So that way you can interact with angels and the spirit of God. And there's a full, like, just kind of convergence of the spiritual and the natural.
Yeah. The fact that we have a physical body, but we also have spirits or a spirit and a soul, right? That lives on. But what you're saying is that this natural body that we have is different from a spiritual body.
Yeah.
Like we have a spirit, but this spiritual body will be different that we're talking about.
Yeah. It'll be to have a physical body that is fully interactive or capable of interacting with the spirit realm. Like that's a cool thought.
Yeah.
You know? All right. So I have a question for you.
Yep.
Do you think, there's no wrong answer, by the way, but do you think we will recognize each other?
That's an interesting question because I think growing up, I had this idea that we wouldn't. And I don't know really where that came from, if I was taught that or just like internalized it somehow. Yeah. But this idea that we wouldn't like even know the people closest to us or our family, maybe we would like get to know them again. I don't know. I guess I haven't thought about it too much, but I think I have this understanding that we wouldn't. But I would love to hear your thoughts on it.
The best I can conclude is that like there's going to have to be some sort of knowledge. Like we don't forget our earthly life and the people we knew. So I don't understand what that looks like, but like would I be able to pass Abraham on a street of gold and not know it's him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be like some like sign over his head? It was like Abraham from the Bible, that guy, you know, like I don't know the answer to that. Name tags, you know, or like I have no, I do think though that we are going to recognize people. I just don't know about the people that we don't know. Or, you know, some people surmise there's kind of like an intuitive knowledge that happens in the spirit realm that we, or, you know, we could always be like, hey, Jesus, and he can respond to everybody, or the spirit of Christ can respond to everybody and illuminate us. I mean, no eye has seen.
Yeah. But according to that, you would say we have the same like identity, like fundamental identity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. My name's Michael Fueling, you know?
Yeah.
And it'll be, I mean, conundrum of the world, right? Will my wife be Brianne Fueling or Brianne maiden name Hurlbert, you know? In heaven, right?
Right.
It's a great question.
It says there's no marriage or people are not given in marriage in heaven. Or,
Yeah. All right. So do you think that we will have a memory of the bad memories on earth, a remembrance of them?
I think we'll have a memory of our life, but we won't categorize it as bad, if that makes sense. Like it'll be these things we experienced. Maybe there'll be bad memories, but we won't experience sorrow or grief over them, I guess.
Re-traumatized over and over again
because there won't be any sadness. There won't be tears. So I don't know what that even looks like, but I would say, I guess, we remember, but we don't experience it the same way.
Yeah. It's funny because whenever you try to answer like the nitty gritties, you at some point have to go, I think, you know what I mean? And there's something about the answer that whatever the reality and the experience is, we're going to be like, oh yeah, of course. But the heart of man cannot even imagine, you know, so
categories for it now.
Yeah. It's all tough. We get these vague categories, you know, natural, spiritual, perishable, imperishable. But like when you really like look at the reality of what that's going to be, our mind can't even imagine it, which is frustrating because we want to know. I want to be pumped about it. But Paul's like, whatever it is, all the junk you went through on this earth, it's going to totally be worth it because God's going to far make up for whatever challenges he let you go through on earth.
Yeah.
So that's
Amen. Cool. Amen to that. Thank you for helping us think through that and talk through that with us.